I caught HPMP, and that was the end of me. That was it. But yeah, looking forward to this race as our runners get started here. I feel like we almost have looking at the standings, you almost have a little playoff race going on here. All these runners really need the 5 points, or at least the 3 points, to kind of get back into the nice squishy middle with that 16th place. So be very interesting to see who comes out on top here.
Absolutely, and we're all sitting here. We've got a magic key off of the first chest, dragon scale, and of course the other one's going to have that second key. So we do have an extra key to get us out of here, and that's quite fantastic. That's what you're looking for. That sets up for potentially hitting the treasury. If you got gold early on, you can go buy more keys. There's so many options with it. As we hit the treasury, we do see a torch. We also see fairy water. In the middle chest, we've got fairy water, and in the final chest we have another torch. So that treasury, not really worth it. We might see a reset and go down into the basement perhaps in one of these other players.
Yeah, no gold grind. Ooh, Charlock's right next door. That's awfully convenient. Yeah, we're not going to see a gold grind, but there's an awful lot of battle items in there. You can use the torch and fairy waters, though our runners do have 10 and 12 strength, so I don't know if we'll need them, but like this metal scorpion here, well, he got back attacked. On Amazing Toaster's side, he'll go down to one. He could go down to 1 fairy water, so that could shoot you up pretty fast.
Absolutely. Well, we got Value V heading into the basement, so we're going to see what we got going on there. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and take a look at our builds that we have today. Everyone is running a HP MP build except for the Amazing Toaster, who's running HP and Strength. So we're going to be fairly even throughout this race with our level ups. This is pretty nice. Now, it looks like Value V has been sent back. Could we determine what was down there yet?
There was a Droll Magi, and he was not interested in Value V being down there for very long. So I didn't see what it was, but it was not.
All right, so we've got a little bit of grinding going on over on all the screens. It looks like Amazing Toaster takes out a Scorpion. We'll be going up a couple levels. 16 power, 8 speed, 4 hit points, and 18, I believe that was magic points. Is that what I saw come through there? Or was it attack? I missed what that last...
Yeah, it was 2 levels there, and it was 18 magic points, I believe. Though Hangry showed us level 2 had a lot of strength in it as well. So level 2 looked like it was a big level, but Toaster just decided to get 3 at the same time also. As Guelph also picks up that pretty big level 2. Vale still doing some exploring down in his little corner there. He knows what he's seen in the basement. Now he's back out to start his...
And we have Breckenary showing up on Amazing Toaster's side, so this might be a quick pick up for some weapons. It doesn't look like we have anything that's cheap enough to pick up, but at least we know where we can get a little bit of protection early.
Yeah, unfortunately nothing there you'd really want a gold grind for. Well, we didn't see any gold in the treasury, but when Vale went down to the basement and it was dark with enemies, as long as it's not Swamp Cave, there might be a chance for a gold grind down there, if it wasn't Swamp Cave. So maybe we can gold grind, but we probably don't want to gold grind for anything that Breckenary.
No, definitely not. But it looks like Amazing Toaster is going to be picking up some random torches. Definitely going to help out with, like you said, some early battles when you just can't afford a...
Yeah, you take that like fairy water you can get in Breckenary and you chuck that at a metal scorpion, and 30 experience at this stage will send you up a level or 2 real fast.
All right, the Hangry Canuck actually managed to get away. Looked like he's suffering just a little bit, wandering around, trying to do a little exploring before he knows he's probably going to be getting sent home. But good runs, managing to get a little bit more of the map discovered. Amazing Toaster doing the same thing.
Ooh, we see in Value's side, Scorpions have hurt more, so I guess Scorpions are not interested in paying rent. That's how the reference goes.
That was fantastic. Expertly rolled in. Expertly.
I practiced all day.
It looks like the Hangry Canuck got sent back to start. Is doing a little bit of exploring as well, moving along the swamp. Going to be exploring a little bit of the southwest. Meanwhile, Value V also gets sent back home. This is a bit painful in the beginning. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot to go and pick up, and some strong, heavy-hitting enemies right at the beginning.
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of swamp that's going to limit our exploration. It's too bad those Scorpions, as actually Amazing Toaster takes out a Scorpion, too bad those Scorpions have hurt more. At 34, 26 strength, Scorpion's really nice. You might be able to get this Metal Scorpion too on Toaster's side if you can get a sleep.
He did put the Metal Scorpion to sleep. Now he just got to stay there, smacking him in the face for 5 and 4. He's awoken up. He did not like that very much and said, hey, knock that off. Sent him back to the...
As our runners, they're pretty much going to have to sit down and grind here. I don't think they're going to be able to get past this swamp. As our runners do their grind, we should mention what the goals of this week are. Our runners are out to try to defeat the evil Dragon Lord, and to do so, they'll have to find 3 key... No, they're not going to have to do any of that stuff, actually. We're taking all the key items out this week. Not interested in finding a harp or a jerk or any of that nonsense. All we're trying to do is rescue the princess and take her to the Dragon Lord at the bottom of Charlock. We don't have to fight him, just take her there. So Charlock being close to the castle, well, it's convenient. We know where the castle is, so once we find the princess, we just have to cast Return and take her a few steps over and go have her visit her new friend, Mr. Dragon Lord.
There have been several of these races where we have had to watch a long slog to get from wherever you start out at, or in some cases swamp, to get into Charlock. And our own restreamer CD Improv was in a match just a couple days ago that had that unfortunate delve to try to get there, and at least now it's right next door. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to search for it. You don't even have to remember it. You go a little bit to the right, and boom, pops right up.
Yeah, it makes for a interesting decision on when you're going to actually dive, since you don't have to actually kill anything except for the spike tile boss in front of the Dragon Lord. We've seen a lot of people go at low levels without the armor. I think there's a race going on currently on Randomania where they're diving at level 12 with 60 HP because you just have to get there. So we'll definitely get into that more later, but it's going to make for some interesting decisions come endgame.
And with having open Charlock as well as being so close by, we may even see, if we get an early Hurtmore, we may even see an easy, quick grind spot as well, which we've not brought up yet. All the monsters in Charlock are definitely the ones you want to be hitting if you've got those powerful spells to help you level up in a jiffy.
Yeah, unlike typical randomizer, you don't have to save your MP for anything. You don't have to fight the Dragon Lord. So if you use all your MP on the way down, it doesn't matter. You get to him with 1 HP and you win. So definitely can burn hurt mores, heal mores, all the magic on the...
All right, it looks like Golf. You're gonna have to pronounce that one for me, or someone's gonna have to, so I can say it properly. Has gone into the basement, and looks like, if I'm not mistaken, that may have been Tablet Cave down there. The only direction to go was
it looks like Swamp South, just based on the way he's moving, and I'm going to be interested to see if he tries to get through there. He has the door open. If it backdoors into Garanham, that could be huge, but it looks like it is Swamp, and it doesn't look like there's going to be any gold grind available in the Swamp Cave anyway. Ooh, it's a Swamp Cave with a Droll Magi, a Stone Man, even some skeletons are a little rough right now, so might be a little hard to get through there.
Yeah, probably not going to be doing a lot of exploring down in there again as he takes the route straight out and says, nope, we'll come back to that later on when we can handle some of those heavy hitters. Meanwhile, Hangry Canuck was looking to go. He's surrounded by swamp and no hit points to speak of. Without a heal spell, it looks like which way do you want to die, unfortunately.
Yeah, we've seen our runners making some progress. Guelph and Toaster are up to level 6 and 5, respectively. Hangry and Value at level 3. But it really doesn't look like any levels since level 2 have been much to talk about. Toaster's got a little power, maybe, but it's really not enough to go exploring.
Guelph has found Reckonary, so that's 2 that's found that close by town. But again, gonna get the realization, nothing good there. Large shield is about it. Some chainmail. Meanwhile, Value V has been sent back to the castle. Going to go out exploring again. Guelph's going to look around, see what he can find for a grind spot here to see if he can go up a couple levels. It's still been kind of a bit of a struggle to find where to go. Even as you level up, the hit points are not... You're not getting a whole lot. Sitting there with 28 HP, not going to be able to take too many strong hits. Can't tank quite yet.
Yeah, so that's how Toaster and Guelph have been able to get so much experience, is they picked up the sleep spell, and they've been using it to help avoid, like you said, getting hit too much. Vale and Hangry Canuck don't have that yet, so they're stuck taking all this damage, whereas Toaster and Guelph can put stuff to sleep and then calmly smash it in the face.
Alright, it looks like Value V is going to head into the treasury. Should already know what's there, so he's going to pick up the torches and the fairy waters and probably go exploring out. Maybe looking for something else that they can throw something at and do that quick damage. Meanwhile, Amazing Toaster takes out, looks like, was that a Warlock? Gets some good, much needed experience going up against the Scorpion, Metal Scorpion, putting it asleep, and going to be just beating on it.
Yeah, Toaster's found this nice little zone with Scorpions and Warlocks that are very sleepy, so he's been doing good work there, and he's going to be one Metal Scorpion after this one, be one Metal Scorpion away from level 7 already.
And speaking of, there is that Metal Scorpion. If it will stay asleep, be nice for us. We might see what comes up at level 7. I'm excited to see it. Maybe this will be a level that's worth talking.
Well, a level we're talking about for one reason or another, but here it comes.
All right, we had a power by 8, hit points by 9, I believe that was. I was leaving that open for you, and I missed what the numbers were coming through, but not super important, but not bad either. Numbers sitting right up underneath the 10 range, so that's still a decent amount of gain. It's better than an empty eye.
Yeah, those are all solid. I think it was 8, 9, 9, 7, if I'm not mistaken, but decent strength and maybe more importantly, decent agility. We're going to want to do a lot of running and have a lot of defense for our dive down, and agility helps with that. So, Amazing Toaster up to 42 agility.
And Amazing Toaster has found Brecconary, so the only one that I don't believe has seen it yet is Value V. Everyone else has explored it, gotten the bad news that there's nothing worth picking up. But Amazing Toaster is going to get the small shield, a little bit of added protection just in case. But if you put them to sleep, you don't need to worry about getting.
Yeah, the chainmail and small shield, they're relatively cheap, but they'll give you an extra 14 combined 14 defense, and that's not bad for just under 400 gold.
And with the stat increases that we've been getting at the earlier levels, it's definitely helpful, definitely needed. Meanwhile, going up against a Warlock, are we going to see a little bit more grinding or a little bit more exploring as Amazing Toaster heads out? Meanwhile, we've got Hangry Canuck has basically been sticking around the same spot. Guelph has gone a little bit north and gets sent back home by a wizard. And the Value V is still sitting around that beginning spot. So not a lot of exploration happening today, but with these levels and these gains, not surprised at all.
Yeah, Vale and Hangry both got sleep, so that'll help them in their grind a lot. With Toaster and Guelph, you're looking at 600 as the next level. You're looking at 263 experience. That's getting kind of close if you want to stick around here and get that in the forest or not. Those Metal Scorpions and Warlocks giving roughly 30 apiece, so might be time to go explore.
As we say that, Hangry Canuck takes a step into the sand and is instantly met by an armored knight that disagreed with your ideas of exploration.
Yeah, we can see on Toaster's side up there that he's just seeing more and more swamp. But look, he's found this little one-tile gap here, and there's a cave down there. Unfortunately, that swamp taking away a lot of his HP.
And we got the freebie cave. What do we got sitting inside here? We have gold. So, with that gold, we may see a little bit of... what do you think? There's going to be let's just call it a manual grind here and get this gold, pick up a bunch old school. It's going to take a while, but at least you'll get some money and be able to purchase some better protective gear. Maybe some more items to throw at the enemies. It's not bad.
Yeah, I believe this is called the ghetto grind at one point, or the slow grind. I would guess he's doing this to go to 3,800 for the full plate and large shield that we're in Brecconary.
Might end up having to go a little bit higher than that. Maybe go up to double that, so that way you'll take that death out of here and go back to the castle, because there's not very likely going to make it back across that swamp. I did not see any more herbs in his inventory when he went into it.
Oh, but they picked up the return spell, so he can just return back. He's stopping at 3, so I guess he's going to be happy with just the full plate.
It does appear that way. Going to be heading over that way now to pick it up. We'll see what we can get. Maybe he miscalculated. Maybe just didn't care. Meanwhile, Value V has actually stepped into the sand again and is finding some werewolves and some Drakimas. Going to try the good old sleep and punch and see how it goes. Oh, we've got Garenham. Golf has found it, and we'll see what we got. No keys to go exploring into it yet, but we can at least see the weapon shop does have the flame sword and the silver shield, so that is a huge find for him.
Yeah, just about everything you'd want. And I think Guelph kept, Guelph kept keys at the start, I think. I think all of our runners did, except I think Vale might have used it. But we'll see what's in the back. He got more golds, so he can go get a large shield if he wants to. More golds, and...
Yeah, definitely worth some to go back in. He's going to go down and pick up that shield before he goes and dives. Meanwhile, Hangry Canuck had some IRLs pick up, and we'll be standing still for a little bit while the rest of our runners go and explore a little bit further. We're going to get to see what's in the back of Garenham maybe here pretty soon.
Yeah, I'd imagine for sure that Guelph's going to check out the back of Garenham. I wonder if Toaster, just as Guelph found Garenham, I was going to say, I wonder if Toaster's going to go explore Swamp Cave and see if he can get through the other side, see if maybe it backdoors into Garenham. I guess we know now it doesn't. But yeah, I'm still interested to see if our runners are going to... Well, Toaster's apparently not going anywhere because he's NPCs. He's going to cast Return out of Brecconary. But I wonder how long it's going to take some of our runners to decide to go try Swamp Cave, since apparently the swamp is on the mainland this time.
And I did unfortunately miss which direction Golf had to go to find Garenham. I don't know, did you see what general direction they...
I would assume it was the northeast because there was just a whole bunch of swamp everywhere else. So I would guess it had to be past that desert that our runners were getting kind of stymied.
Oh, we've got the grave over on Guelph's side as he goes exploring. Does he know his way through to bonk around? Kind of taking a quick pause, maybe looking at a map to see where he's going.
Yeah, it looked like he was checking things out, checking on a map maybe, but he looks like he's on the right path now. 3 chests in the top here. Not sure he'll go all the way to the bottom. I'm not sure he'd want to do that, especially with these flags. But he'll definitely check out the top chests and see what goodies he...
Absolutely. All right, and Hangry Canuck is back to doing the grind. Meanwhile, we've got Value V stepping over and picking up the small shield as well out of Brecconary to get that added defense. And we'll be going back out to do a little bit more punching in the...
Oh, and on Guelph's side, the Druin is trying to stop him from seeing the top chest. The Druin is not much of a threat right now, but still, the Druin doing his best to waste some time, and Guelph is going to find another one. At least finding the Druin in the grave is better than what Hangry suffered. Hangry went that desert by Sharlock and found an armored knight, which is much more dangerous.
All right, we got Guelph stepping up and going to be hitting these treasure chests. So we do have a death necklace, gold, and the final chest gives us more gold. So not a whole lot of gain in there. And did use the key. I believe there was only 1 extra. I don't think he had a second extra, so would not be able to go down into the bottom of the grave.
Yeah, I'm not really sure in these flags if you'd want to take the time to go all the way to the bottom of the grave, unless you're really desperate for the armor. I don't think we've gotten to that point yet. Because again, with these flags, all you really need are keys to rescue the princess, and that's technically it. You really don't need to have any other items, as long as you can beat Spike-Tail enemies. So, I don't know if it's worth gambling and going all the way to the bottom of the grave looking for... I don't know what.
All right, Guelph is going to go up, does have an extra key, so we'll be going up and purchasing more keys. So Guelph does have full key capability here now, so anything he comes across will be able to be opened. So if we find Rimmelsdor that's got that spot, or obviously decides to go down into the princess, we'll have that as well.
Yeah, I believe out of the start, all our runners kept the key. I think Vale might have used his key to go get those items in the treasury to help them grind, but I think everyone else managed to.
Oh, meanwhile, over on Amazing Toaster side, we do have a new level that's came up, as well as looked like a new spell. Did a quick check. I think we have Radiant now over on Amazing Toaster's side. So not the best, but can find his way around the dungeons now, in case he forgot where he was.
I think it might have been outside. Either way, they have outside and return now, which are both important spells. When you rescue the princess, you don't really want to hang around and fight the spike tile twice. So they do have outside, so you only have to fight the spike tile once or deal with the spike tile once. And also, it's Swamp South at the in the back of Tantagle. So if any of our runners want to explore Swamp Cave, you just pop in there and cast outside. So if Toaster wants to, he's got access. Kind of also see the diminishing returns on Toaster's side. While all that other stuff was going on, he was grinding in his same desert, and it just took a while to get from 330 up to 600, so he's now moving on. The next level for him is at 975, and not really interested in hanging out in that forest and slowly grinding up. So he's going to do some exploring and find out that that desert near Charlock is not fun.
And definitely not ideal to play in for sure, but can make it through a couple little goes. We'll be heading south now, and we'll see what we can find there. We got Value V is going south as well, and sees a gold.
Interesting too, Guelph looks like he's back in the Swamp Cave, I believe, walking through to see where that takes him.
All right, Value V has found Garanham as well, so that's two runners that have found that spot. But I don't believe that Value V has the key. We'll have to see when he goes over if he tries to open the door or not. I believe that you were correct. Did use the key to open the treasury, so won't be able to open anything up.
Yeah, good news is Vale doesn't know it yet, but good news for him is that we know the back of Garanham's not really that exciting. There's a couple of gold. His Toaster finds it too. There's a couple of gold chests. There's a herb. You go into the grave. You find a death necklace. I'm not sure there's any reason to put a death necklace on in this sea. I guess maybe there's some outside chance, and two more gold chests. So there's not a whole lot back there. Our runners don't know that, of course. Toaster and Vale don't know that, but it's going to turn out for Vale that skipping the back of Garanham is not all that big a deal, actually.
Meanwhile, we got Gelf running around in a cave. I can't see where he's going or what he's bonking into, but he does find a magic key for his troubles. I believe we might be in Mountain, but no, that can't be it. I'm not exactly sure. Where is he?
I think he's in Tablet based on the way he's walking around. I totally missed him going into Tablet, but I think he's in Tablet.
Oh, and Toaster is in Mountain Cave, so we did find that one. Yes, and you were right with Tablet. Very risky to go into Tablet without having any sort of torch or anything like that. If Galf is able to navigate this properly, props to him. It's a dangerous one to go in because there's no monsters to send you back if you get lost.
Yeah, so we know that the back of Garanham is the grave, but there must be Mountain Cave right outside of Garanham because both Toaster and Vale are in there. They both picked up their torch on the top level, and now they're going down to the second level to see what they might be able to.
Ooh, and Gelf finds another town down in the corner over here. One little tile to get to, and we're going to see what we have. And we've got Cantlin. That's a nice little place to find. He does have keys, so he can go check the coordinates if necessary. Can pick up some herbs to make sure he makes it across those dangerous tiles. That's a good find.
Huh. And as Vale and Toaster are finishing up, Mountain Cave also with nothing very interesting in it. So kind of wondering where, well, I guess maybe wondering where the sword is, but more importantly, wondering where that armor is. That'd make the dive a lot easier, and it hasn't shown up yet.
Oh, I don't see what happened. Did Galf got sent back? What happened there?
Yeah, I missed it too, but I'm guessing with 38 HP max, he probably found a baddie that was not happy he was visiting camp.
And finally clearing out Mountain Cave, the very bottom is just wings. Nothing really too amazing there. Yeah, and that's kind of a shame because Golf was unable to explore Cantlin at all. I don't know what possessed him to step back outside without at least checking the for the search spot was. But I mean, that's every player's got their strategies.
Well, the problem with the search bot right now is they still have no healing, and Guelph's sitting on 38 HP, so he's going to need a lot of herbs to get in there. And you also, being Three's company, you can't rescue the princess and use GPS. So if you know, go buy a whole bunch of herbs and find out the coordinates are 100, 100, then we just did all that for nothing, basically. We're never getting that. So I'm guessing he probably decided that it just wasn't worth the time or energy to go get the coordinates at this stage.
Absolutely valid points made there. As we have Toaster finds nothing for his exploration. Looks like on the far west side of the. Alright, and Galf has found the freebie cave, looking for the potentially may get set up with the ghetto grind here with the gold. We'll see if he goes back in there a couple times to pick up something now that he knows where some better weapon shops are. And he doesn't. He's just moving on.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if gold grind is worth it there. I mean, the full plate's nice, 14 more defense, but it takes a long time to ghetto grind that 3 grand, and Cantley was an awful long way away. I guess Garanham was close and had all the goodies, but man, I would not want to sit there and walk in and out to 14,800 gold.
Oh, absolutely. And we've got Value V stepping into the tablet cave. So if I saw this correctly, I believe the tablet cave and the mountain cave should be. There were 2 caves right next to each other. And so I'm pretty sure that this one is the one to the south. And the mountain cave was the one slightly north of it. Amazing Toaster finding another town over here in this swamp. Let's see what we got. Oh, we got coal.
Oh, well, I was asking earlier, where could our armor be? And hey, here's one of the answers. It could be in coal. A variety of other items could also be in coal as well, but coal also has a silver shield for what it's worth, too. But as Toaster checks out the search spot, he's going to see nothing.
A big unfortunate goose egg in there. It's one of those things where you go into and you get excited until you search and there's absolutely nothing there. Your heart starts pounding and then you actually open up the search spot and find nothing. It's kind of a sad lesson.
Well, as Camion points out, it's the 3rd day in a row. And remember, this is open Sharlock, so there's no Stones of Sunlight, there's no Silver Harp, there's no Erdrick's token. Those are all out of the game. And those are 3 things that could potentially be on a search spot, right? So it feels like a lot more often than not, you're going to find those search spots empty. They're not quite as plentiful as they are in the regular randomizer.
And if I'm not mistaken as well, part of the new patch also allows for the armor to be in a treasure chest too. Is that not correct? Which would lead to even more places you'd have to go.
Oh, it gets better. A treasure chest in Sharlock. Yes, the armor could be in a treasure chest in Sharlock, in which case our runners are going to be going with full plates, or maybe magic armors. We've seen several races, many races, where armor has not been had on people who have won. Like,
yeah, it's definitely not a necessity for sure. You can get lucky. You can have an easy trap tile fight before the Dragon Lord. We've seen several races where they just walked through the entire thing, ran from every monster, and it was just a knight sitting there on that trap tile. So it's not required. And so an early dive without having those things is definitely possible. I think the most important is going to be a good amount of HP to take a couple hits and a good amount of MP to heal yourself back up in case you can't run right away.
Yeah, that's why I kind of favor the agility MP build here. Agility to help you run and MP for extra heal mores. And since we're getting to that point where the armor is still MIA, it's where you start thinking about, do I really need the armor to go? Is it really worth scouring the world for one last location to get this armor? the Erdrick's armor is only 4 defense higher than the full plate or magic armor. Sure, the Erdrick's armor will heal you 1 HP per step and protect you from DL2, but is that really worth spending 10 minutes wandering around the entire world looking for one location that you need? So it'll be really interesting to see which runners go for grinding and which runners go for that potential for the armor.
Meanwhile, Golf experiencing the unofficial boss of Dragon Warrior, the NPCs definitely started off with preventing him from leaving the back of the area, and then prevented him from going into the weapon shop, just not being nice.
You see, in one version we took out the NPC from Garenham. I think in another version we got rid of one of the NPCs from Cantlin. At this rate, if we keep going, we'll just get rid of all the NPCs. It'll be great. I can't wait for that version.
Yeah, they don't contribute. Oh, we have that Swamp North that we have, or I have figured out exactly which one Swamp North is. That is the cave that is just above the Tablet Cave. So now I know. Now I know I've got it all figured. Golf's going to be stepping into a cave. I don't remember if we've seen this one. No, we have not. It is this not helpful. Not.
Nope. At these flags, that's the worst thing to see when you find a cave and you're all excited, and it's the Harp Cave or it's the Jerk Cave. And this flag, since Charlock is open, those caves are completely useless. We'll never be going back there again.
Alrighty, still a lot of exploration going on everybody's screen except for Value V. Value V is seems to be quite content again, going back to grinding on the foothills next to Charlock and getting those levels. Again, it's definitely everyone's got their own strategies as to what is the best idea to get through this. Basically, you're looking for some good stacking.
Yeah, well, here's the general problem. Usually it comes down to when you're doing these races, regardless of the flags, it comes down to, are you going to grind or are you going to explore? And many of our runners decided, okay, I'm going to go explore. They picked up some early levels, of course. They went to explore. There hasn't been much to explore for, right? We've seen Mountain Cave. We've seen the top 3 Engrave. We've seen Garenham. We've seen Cold. There's pretty much nothing there. And there haven't been a lot of really good enemies to kill along the way either. Meanwhile, we also saw with Toaster and what Vale's doing right now, if you sit by the castle and try to grind, eventually it takes so much experience to get to the next level, and you're just sitting on metal scorpions and warlocks, it takes forever. So there's nothing really to explore for. There's not a whole lot of really grindable enemies, efficient grindable enemies. Kind of interested to see how our runners are going to figure their way through this one.
And, some people like the jet races. Some people like the slow races. Me, I'm a slow race person because I'm a tactics person. I like to see how these people adapt to the situation with the different grinding spots or lack thereof, the different ideas that these players get to use to go up. And I enjoy watching the various strategies that they use. And if you enjoy watching these strategies, be sure to give our runners a follow. We do have CD Improv throwing up their links. Definitely check them out if you like this sort of content. They do a lot of, they do these runs, and of course they've got to practice. So you can see this quite a bit on their channels.
Because I feel obligated. If you like the sequel to the sequel to the sequel of this game, you should definitely watch Value V. I hear he plays that a lot.
All right, so we are still exploring, still running around, doing the things. We do have the Hangry Canuck has found, it looks like, was that Mountain Cave? I believe they did find Mountain Cave. So we are diving that one, and if I remember correctly, there was not a whole lot of greatness in there.
Unless you're a fan of torches. Kind of curious if maybe someone will peek in. Swamp Cave is pretty close. Well, it's unread under the castle. I'm curious if someone will peek in and see what that spike tile is. I mean, I'm sure we can't. None of our runners can actually kill what's there. But just sometimes that information of knowing what's there. Maybe if that enemy has a spell, you can go as soon as you find stop spell or something like that. Sometimes just the knowledge can be really, really helpful. Or if you see that enemy has DL2 breath, you might push for the armor a little more. So I wonder if anyone will go to get that information soon and see if, they won't be able to beat the enemy, but see if they get some information, some scouting on it.
And we've got lots of grinding. Not a whole lot of action happening on most of the screens right now, other than just trying to get some level ups, trying to build those stats. We've got amazing toasters going back up north and then heading out west. Going to see what we can find over there. Going to step into that town, if I'm not mistaken. That should be our Brecconary. And so stepping in there, I probably more torches, perhaps fairy waters. But at this stage, they're not going to be super effective combat weapons.
Yeah, I guess maybe herbs, because we have no healing. The herbs are literally only source of healing. Toaster is so close level 9. He just needs 20 more experience and he'll be level 9. And I mean, he's going to be hoping for a heal spell, hurt more, something like that.
Definitely fingers crossed for a beneficial level. If nothing else, maybe some good stats. But yeah, it doesn't matter how great your stats are. If you don't have the heals, you are not going to be able to survive. Definitely need to pick up that heal and heal more if you ever even want to consider your dives.
Well, when we have a second, I'll point out that technically that's not true. Technically, Mr. Holmes is one of our Dragon Warrior racers. He's done this game with no spells before, so technically you don't, but I feel like our runners are not going to want to sit around for the 5 hours that he takes to do that way. So yeah, we're going to want some healing before.
There's always the exception that proves the rule, right?
I mean, you don't have to heal if you just don't mind grinding for 5 hours. I think we mind grinding for 5 hours, though. As Toaster gets his level, he gets some nice power, but he's looking for that, he gets the message, and he does get, ooh, look at that. Heal more and hurt more, and we're off.
Got the two big ones in one swing. That's definitely a way to go. Meanwhile, Golf has stepped into Charlock to see what is in there, and I believe was met very hastily by an enemy that said, no, don't come in here yet. You're not ready.
Yeah, but Guelph also got that magical level 9 as well. So this is really a race to 975 experience, and that just opens everything up for you. Vale's found a town, and it's Remolder, which has one treasure chest, is the only interesting part, since we already had keys. Everyone already had keys. But yeah, we'll see what's in the chest here. Maybe if it's armor, maybe if it's a sword, might help Vale catch up, but again, they don't know it, but Hangry and Vale need to get going and get up to 975 experience, because Toaster and Guelph are going to use Heal More and Hurt More to go crazy.
Yeah, and it looks like Guelph went back into the swamp. He knows what's there and where he's going, taking that right turn. We're going to see what's on that trap tile really soon, and with Hurt More, should be easy work.
Yeah, there's about a 50-50 chance, I think, that it's a nice enemy that you can hurt more to death. Oh, no.
We got the wrong side of that coin flip. Red dragons, they're not too worried about hurt more. You gotta beat on those ones, and they hit like a truck. So he goes back. Meanwhile, Value V is exploring into Rimmeldor, opens up the two chests, finds some gold. So again, not a whole lot showing up here. Where are these wonderful magic items that we need?
Well, looks like Hangry is going to look for them somewhere else, unfortunately. Maybe they're somewhere else, but looks like Hangry did have to bow out of this race. So, unfortunately, he won't be able to continue, but we'll finish this one out. Let's see. Vale looks like he's picking up that gold chest a couple times. He's got something in mind in Remolder for
Yeah, I did not see what was in the shop there, so there may be something very beneficial there. Looks like we're going to go up and peek now. Big items in here. We do have the silver shield. Oh, he was picking up a broadsword. That's what he was.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. That does make sense.
And Toaster is back in Garenham, going to be paying a visit to the weapons shop, picking up the large shield for himself, and definitely has enough money to pick up something else. Not anything else there good to pick up, unfortunately. It looks like we'll be going back into the back. What was in the back here? I don't remember anything very fantastical.
A bunch of gold, and the grave was here too, so maybe Toaster's gonna make a play on the bottom of the grave, or maybe he just wants a little more cash. Looks like he just wants a little.
Yep, heading back to the weapons shop. $3,400 in tow. We'll be picking up the broadsword as well. So broadsword, full plate, and large shield. Amazing Toaster is probably feeling pretty confident right now. Do you think we might see him go down and see what's on the trap tile?
Yeah, as soon as you get hurt more, I'd definitely go check it out. Just for the knowledge, but also because it could be a really good grind spot. I kind of like what Guelph's been doing, though. He was in that desert, and he found a lot of Star Wyverns, a lot of Knights, and all of a sudden, he's knocking on the door of level 10. So that's how much Hurtmore can do for you. We had a really tough time getting from 8 to 9, then Hurtmore shows up in blink of an eye. Level 10 coming up shortly. And it does look like Toaster's going for, I would guess since he cast Radiant, he's going for the bottom 2 as well.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, like you said, it's iffy as if anything is going to be there. We know that a lot of the easy chests don't have anything great on them, so some of these chests might be worth going. You don't have quite the level yet. Beat up some enemies on the way down. At least it'll be worth the experience.
The thing that I wonder about this, and Guelph's doing a similar thing, which may be beneficial to both of them, actually. You're looking for the coordinates. That's one item. Is it gonna be the armor or not? Who knows? Toaster's diving the grave. Is it gonna be armor or not? Guelph at least knows that there's no spike, no grind underneath Tantegel. But I don't think Toaster's checked that out yet. And so while Toaster's doing this, for all he knows, there could be like an Axe Knight under Tantegel that his fellow races are just Hurtmoring to oblivion and picking up tons of levels while he's checking out, 2 tries at this armor. So we'll see if it pays off for Toaster. We'll see if it pays off for Guelph too, because maybe it'll give them the armor that they need.
Oh, absolutely. Guelph does take a conversation with the old man in the swamp tiles and finds out that it's 58 to the north and 70-something the other direction. So not impossible to count out by any means, but definitely a lot of work.
Well, the problem is, if I remember from the start, I don't think you can go north 52 and 78 west from the castle. That might be over on Swamp Continent, which means it's not countable, or you have to do reference points or all that sort of stuff. Guelph picking up that level 10 he was knocking on the door of, and has a little bit of strength, but not much else to speak.
Yeah, 8, 3, 2, and 5. So not super great. Value V is inside the grave, picking up some gold and some lovelies. Amazing Toaster is still working his way down through, dropping a heal more, and going for the last chest. I didn't see what was in the top left chest on floor 2. Did you happen to catch that one?
I didn't. I just was underwhelmed, so I assume it was nothing exciting. Fairy flute, possibly.
Gold, and chest 4 was the flute.
Right, I guess the flute could come in handy if there's a golem on, Toaster doesn't know it's on the swamp spike tile, but if there's a golem on either spike tile for a Toaster, you would like that fairy flute. He's going to pick up his level 10 and get a little more strength. We're about to see if his grave gamble's going to pay off, and if chest number 5's got any.
It would definitely be a big payday. Meanwhile, Value V is doing the same thing, so the only one that's not going to know what's at the bottom of the grave just yet is going to be Guelph. So obviously our players have to make it there, but we're going to try to be optimistic.
Yeah, Toaster's running a touch low on MP, but not really an issue. He's right next to that last chest, so he should be able to get it. Oh no, an herb. So we have the overworld spot, we have Hawksness, and those are the only 2 things we haven't seen other than Sharlock.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. Yep, that is it. That is it. There's 2 places left, and we both know that the runner Toaster doesn't know and Value V doesn't know yet, but that spot on the overworld, 58 and 70 or 52 and 78. That's again not impossible, but definitely not something you want to try to be counting out with this. And with the settings of Three's Company, you can't even get Gwaelin's love. You can't bring her over to her house and let her tell you how far away from her you are. So it's just a guessing game if it separates a continent anywhere.
Ooh, Toaster's got a really big find. He's found Hawksness, which is big for two reasons. The armor might be on the search spot there, and he has Hurt More, but also this might be a really, really good grind spot. And yeah, it looks like on the Toaster's going to preemptively Hurt More there. It looks like Guelph is trying to count this, which feels optimistic, but ooh, look at what Toaster's found. He's found a nice Hurt Moreable enemy.
Yeah, and with this being, I don't know where this was at as far away from any other towns, but I know we were just inside Garanham, so it can't be that far away from.
Oh, and there's nothing. Now, the reason why I say that, Toaster, ooh, he's not going to use it. I say Toaster has a nice grind spot. The reason why I say Guelph was optimistic counting is not that he can't count this. Like, I'm sure he can count this, but I feel like with these flags, maybe people overrate the armor a little bit. Like, you really don't need the armor to win with these flags. And if you're going to take the time to count this out, man, imagine all the experience you could have gotten if you found a nice, pretty grind spot and sat down and grinded there. Ugh.
Oh, absolutely. Toaster found his grind spot, but opted to leave it and still hasn't gone down to see what's on the trap tile in Swamp South. So a little bit confused by that play. Has not gone in there since he's gotten Hurt More and Heal More, at least to peek and see what's there. He's got a broadsword, so with luck and some good rolls, would be able to take down that the red dragon that's there with a lot of luck. A lot of luck.
Huh. Toaster looks like he's going to grind Charlock, I would assume. And yeah, I didn't see exactly where Hawks's was either, but I would guess it was close to the grave and close to Garanham. So it seems like that wouldn't be too bad of a grind spot, but maybe he wants to Death Warp and he likes Charlock better.
Well, Charlock is close as well, as long as there's some good enemies. So we've seen a wizard and a golem so far. He does have sleep, so could have given a try on the golem, but nah, ran away from it. Too much work. 120 for the wizard. Could see a couple quick battles here before moving on. Not the best, but not the worst either.
Yeah, so to answer Raylis's question, yeah, the ranks are up there right now, and basically the way the standings shake out is the winner of this race is going to be looking pretty good to be in that like 16-ish area. Second place is going to be kind of in the area, would need a good week 5, but could get in that area too. And third place is going to have a tough time getting back up there. So you really want to finish 1-2 here. Toaster and Guelph look like they have a really big experience lead. That's mostly due to Hurt More showing up on level 9. As soon as Vale picks up his next level, he'll get Hurt More and he'll catch he'll regain a lot of that. So a lot closer than it looks, but these runners, of course, we always want to finish top 2, but especially here, really, really aiming for like top 2 to get right in the middle of that playoff race.
Yeah, and we've got Vale doing as we mentioned earlier, the ghetto grind, picking up a lot of gold, wasting a lot of time for that. Probably picking up for either the flame sword or the silver shield. We know both of those are close by, and I believe they were in one was in Rimmelsdor and the other one was in Cole that the other one was there? No, Garanham. It was in Garanham.
Yeah, I just saw they were both in Garanham and then honestly stopped paying attention to where they else were because they both were in Garanham. This is really unfortunate for Vale because, he saw the beginning of the seed. He knows it's kind of a slow start. And so he's thinking if he can get his magic armor, if he can maybe get a flame. I don't think he's just going to do magic armor. He's not going to bother upgrading the broadsword to a flame. That's kind of an upgrade. But close to magic armor is big. But he saw it's a slow seed. He's thinking, man, I need something to help me out. And he, of course, doesn't know Hurtmore's coming at 9. For all he knows, Hurtmore could still be 8 levels away. I feel like this always happens to me. I do some sort of big, elaborate grind and then find out 100 experience later, here, have your Hurt More and Heal More. So, unfortunate for Vale, just kind of bad timing.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, we've got Toaster and Guelph are pretty neck and neck with these grinds here. Been trading back and forth. Toaster taking the first one. It's got 5, 9, and 4, and I think we did see a first stat on that I missed. Just these things are going.
think it was 10 strength. I mean, just in general, I mean, they're both running strength HP, so they shouldn't be super surprising. But just in general, these levels have been bringing strength and HP, and again with these flags, don't really care about strength. We have hurt more. I guess we know that red dragon's sitting there, so we need some strength to kill that. But I mean, we really like to have agility to help run. We really like to have magic to help more heal more. HP is good, obviously, to absorb more hits. I mean, strength is maybe the least important of the four in these flags, and this seed's given us lots of strength and not so much agility MP, so we could be in for some interesting little dives here.
Well, we've got Gelf is going back in the grave. So we are going to see him going down to. I'm sorry, no, he went into mountain. Disregard me. I don't know what I'm talking about. I thought he went into the grave. I apologize.
Yeah, I think this is his first trip into mountain though, so he's due for the disappointment that our other two runners have had. Oh wait, maybe the snowman's going to spare him from it. Guelph is probably very upset that he just got killed out of Mountain Cave, but if he goes and does something else that could actually save him time, obviously he has no way to know that.
All right, hey, Toaster is making his way down into the basement. Probably going to go check that trap tile now. Picking up some keys on the way, so making sure he has enough to open up the door to the princess. So we might see another run at the Red Dragon finally coming up over here from the
And with a whole bunch of heal mores, and I believe I saw with his strength, I think his attack power is fluttering right around 100 or so, 99, yeah. This could be doable. He might be able to take out a Red Dragon. I'm not sure that he's really ready to dive. I'm not sure he'd want to grind here, but he might be able to take.
Well, he doesn't know yet. He doesn't know it's a red dragon. He may still think it could be any number of enemies there. So he's finally going down to take his peek. And if he sees it's the red dragon, probably not going to grind. Ooh, not with hitting at 41. Tries to run away and is stopped, sent back home. So maybe heading back to Charlock to do another little bit of a grind is probably your best bet for that.
Yeah, and either way, even if he had taken that one out just because he was there, it's definitely not something you'd want to grind on. He'd be better to go back to Hawksness. He'd be better to go back into Charlock. But now he does have the knowledge that Red Dragon's there. We've also seen 2 attempts at that Red Dragon now, and I think 4 or 5 attacks, and they've all just been attacks. So looks like it might just be a regular old vanilla attacky Red Dragon, which, since our runners have heal more, or will have heal more shortly in Vale's case, not the worst thing ever.
No, definitely not. But unless you can get those stats up to be able to defend yourself from it, they are hitting rather hard for sure. But we'll see as the runners go on. Gelf is back out on the prairie, gonna go check some things out. Looks like he's heading back over to that same area. Maybe heading back to Mountain Cave to go dive that.
Yeah, and you can't blame him because there's 5 treasure chests there, and they could have an armor, they could have a sword, they could have all kinds of goodies. But we know that he'd be better served to go somewhere else. But yeah, he has no way to know that. So I'm sure he's going to go back and do his due diligence and check those chests. And yeah, I feel like right now, both Toaster and Guelph know about the Red Dragon. You only have to beat him once. Same thing with the spike tile enemy at the bottom of Charlock, whatever it is. We don't know what it is yet. You only have to beat it once. And you have heal more, so I think at this point, since the armor's not around, anything that doesn't have DL2 breath, we're pretty happy to see. So, or sleep. And it didn't look like the Red Dragon had either of those. So any enemy that decides it doesn't want to have sleep or DL2 breath is probably fine for the spike tile at this point. We're okay with burning heal mores to get through them. That's not really an issue. But no point in going to kill that Red Dragon now because we're not ready to dive anyway.
All right, and we have Toaster hitting level 12, power by 2, speed by 2, hit points by 15, magic by 2, and a new spell. We've got, what was that, hurt? So the spell's not going to be really too important anymore since we've got heal more and hurt more already. But 15 HP was the only thing good to come out of that. Still not enough to do anything.
Well, the 15 HP might be a little more useful than we'd think. At least now, if we get back attacked and DL2 breath, we can survive that. Like in Guelph's case, for example, he might die to a back attack max DL2 breath. So at least it does that for us. But yeah, the agility of 57 is frightening. 68 MP is not a lot of heal mores to work with. Yeah, I don't think we're diving.
Oh, the Magiwyvern showing off DL2 breath and sending Value V back home. I just wanted to point out how much that must have hurt. Guelph has found Hawkness. Gonna go find the trap tile here and see it's just an Armor Knight and find the whole lot of nothing underneath.
Yeah, I'll be really curious to see if Guelph decides to sit down here and grind, and then we can compare this grind to Charlotte grind. That looks like Toaster's heading back.
Well, and with being so close to level 12, might see a little bit there just to get to the level.
Yeah, this Armor Knight's going to put him within like 50 experience level 12. So you're right, I'd be very surprised if he didn't at least kill 2 of them to get level 12. But we'll see if he stays here permanently.
Value V getting bodied by a Demon Knight sends him back home as well. Value V just has been struggling to get up those levels and find a good grind spot. Still at level 8, not quite there. And once he hits level 9, probably will be ecstatic to see he's finally got heals and hurts. Mores.
Well, or maybe the opposite, because this is one of those things that happens where you start pulling out all the stops to do your grinds, and you're trying to explore and find something. Then you find out that, oh wait, actually, if 15 minutes ago I had sat down here and killed 10 scorpions, the game would have given me everything I needed to win. And again, he has no way to know that. And usually sitting down and killing 10 scorpions gets you nothing. But in this case, that's what he needs to do. Looks like he's actually doing that. He's found some medals. He decided he's close enough. Looks like he's finally gonna pick up level 9 and get the good/bad news.
Well, I mean, an hour into the run, just finally hitting heal more and hurt more, obviously not knowing what the other runners are doing. Maybe a little bit nervous, but probably not too bad. Going to be looking like he's moving into Charlock, probably to look to do a little bit of grinding in there, see what the monster set is. That's not a bad idea. Changes his mind, turns around, makes me look a fool.
Yeah, I don't know what Vale's thinking, but I know a lot of times when racing, you're stuck on a level forever, and the next level brings heal more and hurt more. Either one, but both especially. You're just sitting there going like, oh man, how long ago did my opponents grind this out? Like, how did it take me this long? So Vale needs to get going. He's got all the tools he needs now, and you're right, he's into Charlock, hopefully to hurt more a whole bunch of stuff. Now, the good news for him is Toaster and Guelph spent a whole bunch of time wandering around, looking at Hawksness, looking at Mountain, looking at Bottom of Grave. If Vale decides to skip all that and go for grinding, he could catch up here.
Oh, absolutely. These races are never over until the last person crosses the finish line. With these being randomized like that, you could go on a good streak, find a good grind spot, go up a couple levels, have some good rolls, and just take it. Definitely can turn the tide at any moment for sure. Meanwhile, Amazing Toaster has found that 2 key and finds a little bit of gold. Gonna spend the night in Rimmeldor and probably head back out again.
Yeah, so this is what I'm going to be really interested to see with Vale. If Vale dedicates himself to a grind and just says, forget the armor, I don't really care. We've seen Toaster and Guelph jump through all these hoops trying to find, I would assume, the armor, and not having a whole bunch of luck. Oh, we see Guelph is going for reverse count even, hoping to find the armor on the overworld. If Vale just sits there and I'm going to use Hurt More, because this experience lead is not as much as it looks when you factor Hurt More in. You can pick up a couple thousand experience with Hurt More pretty fast. So if Vale just says, forget the armor, and the other two spend some time looking around for the armor, of course, then the Spike Tile might have DL2, but anyway.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So it's so hard to tell. And like you said, yeah, if he were to move towards Hawkness and find that grind spot and just decide to do that, probably go down into the basement and see what's hiding in the basement. I don't know if he's seen the Red Dragon down there yet. Might think that might be a viable grind spot. Definitely got to be looking for grind and go at this point. With the Fairy Flute, going to be trying out this Golem to put him to sleep and get a nice 255 experience.
Yeah, I think these are the most interesting seeds at these flags. When the game doesn't give you the armor, You know, how long, how much time, how much resources do you dedicate to find the armor before you just say, forget it, I don't really need it. And Vale looks like he's reached that point, and our other two runners don't look like they have. Toaster might be doing a dive specifically for the armor, which would be an interesting bit of information too.
Well, and we definitely know that it's got to be there unless it's sitting on the overworld spot. If nothing else, Erdrick's sword's got to be in there. So obviously, again, it's not the best. It's not going to win you any fights alone, but still, the enemies that you're going to face on the way down to the bottom level is going to earn you that experience and possibly up a level, if not sitting in the same spot over and over again.
I guess I just wonder though, like, if you're gonna dive for the armor, why not take a princess with you? And if the dive goes really well, say forget the armor, let's take a left here and go win the.
Because you have a very nasty red dragon standing there protecting the princess.
We could burn our heal mores and probably maybe kill that red dragon, I think.
Possible, absolutely. Again, good rolls and random luck might be able to it. Guelph is still again searching all over, searching. Probably feels he has his east-west coordinates and is trying to find the north-south.
Interesting. Toaster's taking fights on his way down, so maybe Toaster's using this as a grind and then saying, you know what, if I get close to the armor, that's awesome, but I'm going to pick up some experience in here anyway, and get some information about the lower zone. So maybe he's just looking for experience, and if the armor comes, it comes. But he's seeing a lot of wizards, which is a good sign for a grind and for a dive.
Oh, absolutely. We have yet to find a good grind spot on the overworld map that's close by, that's consistent of, armored knights or anything like that. So, I mean, this enemy set is just as good as anywhere else, so may as well make the most of it.
So I believe the problem with Guelph's reverse count is, if I'm not mistaken, the way he was going, it looked like he could only figure out one coordinate and he couldn't get north-south from the castle. So I think he had to explore on a line, and he's having a tough time with that. And like I said, this is where you go again and say, like, do you really, really need the armor this badly? I tend to say no, but then, like I said, maybe the spike towel shows up with DL2 breath and fries you, so...
Absolutely, and looking on from the outside, we can see their judgment plays and say, is that good or is that bad? But you got to think from their side. They don't know what's out there. They don't know where the other opponent is at, and may have that fear as well with the dragon breath, and maybe wondering if their co-runners are looking for it as well. And if they're not, are you going to be the one that finds it that then becomes the one that has the advantage if you do run into DL2 breath?
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to tell. That's what makes it so interesting. It's so hard to tell how useful the armor is going to be. I mean, without the armor, you have to burn 2 heal mores on the barrier tiles in the first floor of Sharlock, and we're sitting on 8 heal mores right now. So you'd have to start wondering, like, gee, how many levels might I have to grind to make up for that? Will I get more HP? Will I get more agility? Will there be DL2 breath? How long will it take me to find the armor? Where is the armor? There's so many questions. It's such a difficult question that it's very interesting to see how the runners deal with this.
Absolutely, and we're getting a good look at what the dive can look like over on Toaster's side, and he's down to one more heal more left, so definitely not at any point in this run free.
Yeah, but this has got to be very, very good for Toaster. He's made it to the U-shaped room with the heal more. He was fighting stuff on the way. Like, I'm not sure he was trying, and he suddenly found himself in the bottom zone. He has not found many scary enemies. I think he's got to be feeling good about this situation. If he can get by that red dragon in Swamp Cave, and again, just burn a whole bunch of heal mores, I guess, maybe get by him. He's seeing that you can get to the bottom. Not so difficult to get to the bottom.
Absolutely, definitely a good play heading up for the treasury or the armory, what you wish to call it here. Gonna see what we have here in the treasury.
Running from the red dragon like it's not even there, and getting a whole bunch of fighter's ring so far.
There's the big stick finally, And we have another cursed belt.
Oh no, the sword was probably the least useful. Like, you really don't need the sword in this situation if you're Toaster. So that means it's either in vanilla and Toaster has to hike it back up a couple floors, or Guelph's reverse counting might pay off if he can get it to work.
Think about the advantage that would have as we sit here and wonder, is it going to be a good thing for him if he does find it? If that is where the armor is, that's going to be huge. Meanwhile, Toaster gets picked on by the Red Dragon and sent back home. So we're not going to know if it's in vanilla or.
Yeah, Archfield, it could be on the overworld, the armor, or it could be in the vanilla chest. But here's the other thing, too. Toaster, of course, didn't have the armor and made it to the bottom floor of Sharlock with one extra heal more left over while fighting things on the way down. He can get there. If he runs, if he doesn't fight he can get there without the armor. So I wonder if that's going to change his strategy. I wonder if that's going to give him some more confidence, just grind maybe a level-ish or so to take on that Red Dragon and rescue the princess and try that again, because he got to the bottom pretty easily.
Absolutely. He's only got to get to 5,500 experience. So he's at, I believe it looked like 46. So if you figure the enemies he's fighting, if he can keep hitting wizards at 120, it's only 5 or 6 fights that he's going to have to go through to get there. So not a whole lot of effort needed to see what that next level is, and may use that as the go mode to go back down and face the Red Dragon again. Ali, for the answer to your question in chat, no, there is no gold grind available. The treasury consisted of herbs and wings. That was it. Or fairy water. Herbs and fairy water. Nothing.
Yeah, but even worse, there was a cave in the back of Tantegel, giving our runners hope that maybe, but it was Swamp Cave. So no gold grind.
Takes out a blue dragon, getting ever closer. We are sitting right now 5,000, going to take on the armored knight. So definitely getting close. No concerns or worries about getting taken out yet. So we should see what's coming up at level 14 very.
Looks like Guelph has abandoned his reverse count, which actually I guess we know now it has to be the armor, right? There's nothing else that could be on the overworld. We've seen everything else. The sword was in Sharlock. We've seen the death necklace. Fairy flutes out there. Yeah, the search spot has to be the armor. There's nothing else that could.
I mean, in theory, yeah, it can either be nothing or it can be the armor, because it's not required that the armor has to be on a search part, if I'm not mistaken. But no, I guess actually, yeah, if you do have to search, it does have to be something. You are correct.
Yeah, so Toaster's dive. Toaster never checked the coordinates, so he doesn't know that there are coordinates even. But yeah, I believe they do have to be on the overworld, and those are. Yeah, so our armor's gone basically, right? We're not getting it. Guelph put up a valiant effort with his reverse count, but I don't think we're getting it.
Alrighty, and Amazing Toaster taking on an armored knight. Gonna put him right in range. Gonna be about 8 points shy. So whatever the next enemy that he faces will be the lovely level 14, and maybe our dive, unless of course he hits a golem.
I would have to think on 14, especially because there's no quick grind. If there was an Axe Knight with Hurt More or something, then maybe you can pick up a safety level. But I would think at 14, you'd have to give that Red Dragon a go, especially just having made it to the Sharlock Treasury with extra heal mores in tow. I think you'd have to try on 14 as well. Looks like he's going for a reverse count again, maybe? He's back in that same area, I think.
All right, we've got level 14 coming up. Speed by 6, hit points by 1, magic by 3, and an unuseful new spell. So nothing amazing for levels, and it looks like Toaster wants to probably do it up a little bit more, or maybe just take a death. Kind of interesting to see why he's not making that or the retreat. Get the princess and see what happens.
Yeah, he picked up the sword, which is going to make the Red Dragon a lot easier to kill. He's sitting on 123 attack. Ah, there he goes. And I figured he was just getting 14 because it was so close, but Man, 15 seems like it's going to take a while wandering the lobby of Charlotte.
Yeah, to get up there, we need to get to 7,500. So another 14. Oh, my math is off. 1,600 to go. That's going to take. All right, he is leaving, heading back down, probably to go rest up or refill magic, and we'll see if he goes into the basement or if he's going back into Charlock. It's an interesting play for sure. I'm enjoying watching that development. Meanwhile, Value V is just kind of slowly trugging along, just doing his.
Yeah, I'm also surprised too. Toaster's not trying the Red Dragon because that could be a grind spot too. I mean, you have 10 heal mores, a 69 defense is not great, but it's also right under the castle and it's a guaranteed encounter. So those are always nice. You know, see if you can kill it, and if you're not thrilled about a defense, if you're not thrilled about a Charlock dive, sit there and kill a few more until you get to 70.
So Guelph has gone back into the mountain cave. I believe you were stating earlier he has not dove this, so gonna go see what treasures lie in the bottom of this. Toaster is going for the Red Dragon, it looks like, so we are going to see another fight and see if we can get anything better than a 2-hit. And
yeah, Guelph got kicked out of the mountain cave by a stone man, and again, we knew at the time that was a good thing, but he had no way to know. So again, he's going back in and checking those 5 chests in case, you know, there's an armor or a sword hanging out there, but we know it's just torches and herbs and whatever.
yeah, it's kind of interesting now that you mentioned that he was spending all that time and all that work on the overworld, doing that reverse count without fully diving the mountain cave. There was a lot of time and energy spent in there for that grind. So like you were saying, did not pay off, unfortunately. And yes, Ali, it looks like Toaster is going for it.
Well, to be fair to him, he knew there were coordinates, and he had seen the death necklace already, and oh, he has not seen the fairy flute. I thought he saw the fairy flute. But yeah, he knew that there was the sword and armor that could potentially be on those search spots, so he was going for, you know, it's got to be one of those kind of thing. Ooh, Stone Man ending Toaster's chances at the princess, but again, the swamp cave is just south, so just behind the castle, so no big deal getting back there. Yeah, Vale picking up 11, so Vale's coming on here. If he doesn't waste time looking around for that armor, which we know is pretty much impossible to find, he could still be a factor.
Absolutely. And if Guelph hasn't seen the fairy flute yet, then that means that Guelph hasn't dug all the way down into the bottom of the grave, because we know that is treasure chest number 4 in the grave. So if you figure that's 2 chests in the grave and the 5 chests in Mountain Cave, that's 7 chests that he hadn't explored before he took that time out on the overworld, which could have been, as far as he knows, could be the fairy flute, could be death or the fighter's ring. It's hard to say.
All right, Toaster having a much better time here. He's hitting for 25, only getting hit for 25. He has 10 heal more, so no problem taking this red dragon out. And yeah, we'll see if he actually saves the princess or he decides to grind up to... Bale's found that nice desert with the armored knights, and all of a sudden those are working to his advantage. I think they spent a lot of the early parts of this seed slashing him to death, and now he's showing them hands of lightning.
Definitely getting his revenge on the armored knight for sure. Looks like going to be taking a quick death warp back, and we'll probably go out for that.
Oh, we've got Toaster going into the princess. Looks like he's going to make a run at this.
All right, and with 56 MP after he casts outside, he's still only going to have 8 times 6, I think we got for 48. So he's got 6 chance of healing.
But he can go refresh his MP at least right here, so he'll do that. And
oh yes, absolutely. I forgot already how close it was.
This kind gentleman here will give him all of his heal mores back, and Toaster will get another try. Now, I keep saying, will he be like get more confidence? He made it to the bottom so easily the first time. You know, we have seen there are armored knights on the first floor that he managed to dodge, and we did see the bottom floor had red dragons. So I wouldn't call this free just because he made it one other time. But he knows he can get down there without the armor, and we'll see if he can do it again.
Absolutely. Agility is a 66, so it's slightly better than the last time he went down there. So hopefully it will play in his advantage to run from these enemies. Starting off with a golem and a wizard right as he walks in there, and 3 battles in 5 steps. Holy cow! Definitely making him work for it.
So Toaster's going to join my little chat that I have with the game about what 1 in 16 really mean. 66 agility for Toaster gives him slightly better than a 1 out of 3 chance to run from the big baddies, the red dragon and the armored knight. Other things, he should be a decent chance to run from everything else, but he's about a little over 1 out of 3 to run from those. And again, he's got 10 heal mores to start, plus a full complement of herbs. He'll have to use 2 heal mores or a bunch of herbs to get through these things since he doesn't have the armor, but that'll still leave him with either 8 heal mores or no herbs, whichever one, for the rest.
That is very risky, though, letting hit points go down that low. He did go up against a blue dragon with only 14 hit points. That could have been devastating if the dragon went first or if he couldn't.
True, although in this case here, I think, remember that Sharlock is very close to the castle, the princess is very close to the castle. It would be annoying to get killed here, it costs you some time, but it's not quite as bad if, like, you know, Swamp is in a different corner and Sharlock's in an opposite corner or something like that. You can take a few more risks here since Sharlock and the princess are both so close, but yeah, I'm sure he was sweating a little bit trying to run from that blue dragon.
Absolutely. It looks like Gelf is making his way down into the basement as well, heading to that trap tile, most likely. And Value V has made quite the comeback. I mean, obviously not there yet, but is just working away now that he's got that hurt more and is skyrocketing on levels and is now within, I believe, only about 1,700 experience from Gelf.
Yeah, he's again been focusing on a grind while Toaster and Guelph were looking for that armor. So we'll see. Now he might get distracted by the armor too, because I don't think he's seen Hawksness yet. He definitely has not tried the coordinates yet. So he might get distracted by the armor as well. But if he just grinds and goes, he'll be right there with Guelph and maybe Toaster too if Toaster doesn't get down here this time. These armored knights in this desert just keep handing him. He takes a death orb here. Just keep handing him experience. So.
Yeah, definitely. That's what we were saying with earlier. It's not over until the last person crosses the line. Still anybody's race on this one. No telling what could happen. Toaster can have a great dive or can succumb to some wounds and have to reset a couple times. It's not certain.
Yeah, and don't forget the last little hurdle that they have to climb. Even if Toaster gets down there, there's still an enemy on that spike tile, and we don't know what it is. So I don't think we've seen any nasty abilities from any Sharlock enemies yet, but I mean, you never know.
And Gelf has taken out the red dragon, working his way down to pick up the princess. So we may see another Sharlock dive here in just a moment. Meanwhile, we do have Value V is picking up some keys and maybe looking to go check out what's on the trap tile. I don't think he's experienced that.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think Vale's looking at his stats now, and he's thinking maybe I could get down to the bottom, maybe. So let me go check out this spike tile and see what it is, and he'll see that it's an unfriendly red.
An imaginary creature's asking, could we be here for a while? I think any randomizer race is going to give you that possibility. You never know. Stat rolls and things like that, and the monsters that we encounter, you don't know how long these are going to take.
Oh, Toaster is getting stopped a little bit here by the snowman, but puts it to sleep and gets away. So he's going to hit the spike tile, looks like he's down to 4 heal.
Don't speak too quickly on that yet. No telling what he's going to run into on the way there. He still has a few tiles to step on, and he has been having a terrible, horrendous encounter rate in this. Gelf looks like he is going to do a little bit of grinding to get up to that next level before he makes his dive. It's only about 150, it looked like, away before that last one went through. Meanwhile, Toaster taking on the red dragon, hoping to survive. This isn't the trap tile, though. If the screen's not centered, it's not.
No, yeah, he had to burn a heal more there. Took him a few more tries than the advertised 3. Ooh, it's an armored knight, though, and Toaster has enough MP for hurt more.
Yeah, can land a hurt more and go through and still have enough for a heal more just in case. So as long as he can make those quick little 10 tiles to get there. Oh no, the fun police! Oh my goodness.
Just ran away like they weren't even there. And look who's there. It's the dragon.
Get your GGs and hypes out in chat. We have our first finisher. Amazing Toaster is delivering the princess to the Dragon Lord, accepting half of the world to be his. GG, congratulations to Toaster, and we'll see if we can get him in here for an interview with a heart-pounding little bit of a last part there. I was nervous.
Oh, with style, too. Just swatting that red dragon away. Get out of my way. I got places to be. And yep, GG's to Toaster, finishing first place here. Like you said before, he's right back in the mix now, right amongst those people hanging out in the 15th, 16th place, right back in the playoff picture. So nice race.
Meanwhile, we've got Galf getting ready to do his dive, most likely filling up on MP, casting the repel, the heal more. Gonna speak to the wizard, get his magic points back, and head on over to Sharlock. And we've got Value V is still working on monsters in there. Is only about 1,700 away, 16 now from the next level, and could be in go mode himself once he gets that.
And I believe we're joined by Mr. Toaster. GG's, that was quite amazing.
That was that red dragon encounter after the mini boss tile was a bit of a heart stopper.
You and us both, brother. Holy cow.
What are you talking about? You just swatted him away like he wasn't even there.
You did put quite a juke on him.
On the real dive, I got just every back attack in the book, it seemed like.
Yeah, and that encounter rate, huh? 1 in 16, they say.
That was crazy.
So tell us about your thoughts on this race as you were going through. It took 1 hour and 20 minutes for you to get through. Healmore and Hurtmore not coming up until level 9. Not a whole lot of grind spots and no major weapons or items. What were you thinking going?
Once I got to 9, I was kind of worried because I kind of put off that grind to do some exploring. In the early game, kind of the best thing I found was putting warlocks and metal scorpions to sleep and then beating them down just with my fist.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because actually you were the first one to 9 using that exact strategy. You were putting the metal scorpions to sleep, you were putting the warlocks to sleep, and that got you level 9, which got you a nice little lead, it turned out, because level 9 had all the things.
Yeah, once I had 9, it was time to do the rest of the exploration, figure out what I could get, and figure out where everything was as far as what was in front of the princess, and if I could find any good items. The only thing I found was the sword by doing that first.
Oh no! And while you were talking, Gelf takes a 30 for 30 and gets sent back home. Sorry to interrupt you. That was just painful to watch.
Yeah, and like we were saying, Vale suddenly caught up. He's not that far behind. He's going to investigate this red dragon tile again. Yeah, he's not that The experience looks different, but he's right there. So Toaster, one other thing that we were talking about a lot, especially in this seed, because the armor was very, very hidden. It was on the overworld that had terrible, terrible coordinates. What were your thoughts about searching for the armor? About was the armor worth it? Like, how did you approach that whole thing, not knowing where the armor was or if you even needed it?
As soon as I figured I had enough, like, agility, HP, MP to go for the dive, I was gonna go for it unless it was, several levels away. Then I might have checked the sword spot to see if the armor was there, because that was the only two places that were left, was Overworld or the sword chest. But the way the castle looked on the first dive, it looked like I could get. I mean, I got to the treasury at like level 12 or 13, and so I decided, okay, we'll go. We had enough HP to fight the dragon on Healmore strats, so do that, get the princess, and go have a chat with the Dragon Lord.
Yeah, that first dive turned out to be pretty awesome for you. Not only did you pick up some experience, not only did you get some great information, you got the sword as well. No armor, but man, that first dive, there's a lot.
In these kind of seeds, it's really good to have as much information as you can, because you have to make a dive, possibly without equipment that you would want or you would need in any other circumstance.
Yeah, that's something we talked about an awful lot during this race about, we like to have the armor, but do you really need it? Is it worth the time? So, as you showed us, it clearly did not need it.
Absolutely. We were talking about a lot going back and forth about the different strategies that everyone takes. Gelf spent quite a bit of time trying to do a reverse count to find that armor. When you went down to the armory the first time, curious to see if you were going to hit the vanilla or just go for it. All the different areas that you decided to grind. One of the things that I was wondering myself was when you found Hawkness, it had an armored knight there, and you were, I believe, level 10 or 9, but you did have Hurt More and Heal More, but chose not to grind there. What was the reasoning for not taking any sort of early grind? Were you still in exploration mode, or what was the idea behind that?
At the time, I still wanted to explore. I still had. I think I still had Grave to go down into, maybe, or I know I still had to go to Rimeldar and see what that chest was. It was more that I wanted to explore rather than sit there and grind. I knew that Sharlock was right there if I wanted to do some grinding. There were wizards there. You could just whack at them all day.
Well, it was definitely a good run and well fought, and definitely good to watch. Very entertaining, and that last little stretch, those last 10 tiles with the red dragon popping up. Whew, you put the moves on him, moved right on past and delivered the princess. GG. Very.
Yeah, it was good to finally get some luck in one of these. I've had terrible luck so far in League this year.
Yeah, one of the other things we were mentioning too is that looking at the standings, this win puts you right back up there on that in the middle of that playoff race, right into that 14, 15, 16 sort of area. So going into week 5, you're looking all right all of a sudden.
Yeah, I knew it was pretty much I had to win out if I had any chance for playoffs at this point.
All right, so we got Value V real quick stepping into Sharlock and making a dive. Has gone past the nasty, painful tiles and is going to be making his way down. Does get a quick stop by an Armored Knight, but is trying to run away. And so we may see, as we were talking about, how the tides turn real quick in this game based solely on the strategies that you go for.
I just noticed Velavi's name.
Oh, Have you seen any Three's Company? Because neither of us have any idea what's happening. Apparently, there's a landlord
Yeah,
in Three's Company. That's it, apparently.
that Mr. Roper is their land.
I definitely made a couple jokes about like stone men not wanting to pay rent or something, but I didn't really know what I was talking about.
Yeah, it definitely over this person's head as well. I know of the show. I've just never watched it myself. All right, so Value V is on his way down. He has enough for 3 heal mores. Doesn't know that trap tile is only sitting on an armored knight, so a couple of hurt mores or a punch and a hurt more, and we'll get through it. As long as he can manage to run away from these enemies, he's only gone down 2 floors though, so it's gonna be tough for.
Yeah, he's got to think about that spike tile too. He doesn't know what's on there yet, but he's got to want to save a heal more or two at the very least for that spike tile. Yeah, this race for second getting really interesting all of a sudden. Like we just mentioned, Toaster right back in the middle of the playoff race with the win. Whoever picks up second here will still be kind of knocking on the door of that playoff race. So definitely these runners want to pick up the 3 points for second place. Vale currently with the Princess, but low on resources, only in the star-shaped room. It looks like Guelph might be heading back for that armor. Maybe his failed dive has convinced him that he really needs that armor and really needs to make that reverse count work.
So Toaster, quick question for you while we watch these two go at it. What is your strategy going into next week? If I'm not mistaken, that has a vanilla map, but a few other cool little quirks and changes to the algorithm. What are you thinking going into that?
I haven't practiced on that map lately, so I know I think something has changed with the way that map works, but I haven't messed with it lately. Because last year, I don't know if this is still the case. Last year, the vanilla map, it would move everything to pretty much anywhere except inside the Sharlock island on the map. I don't know if that's still the case, or so I have to do a little practice on it to figure out what's going on with that. I know what is Speed Hex on. I forget.
I'm not 100% sure on that one myself. I think it is fast levels, but that's the only thing. CD Improv is confirming yes, speed hacks are a
Yeah, so looking ahead to that, there are speed hacks, so fast text. It is very fast experience, only 50% of experience required. And you're right, all the towns are shuffled except for Sharlock, so you know where the locations are. They could be anywhere. Those little extra weird spots aren't there anymore. Like there was some weird spot in the desert by coal and whatever else. Those aren't there anymore. It's just all the vanilla spots. And also all these spells and weapon shops are not randomized. So you're going to 17 for heal more. You're going to Cantlin for your silver shield.
Yeah, I mean, it does. You do have to go to at least 17 to finish. You know that much. So, but with extra fast XP, that and speed hacks, that'll reduce that time. It's just with speed hacks, you sometimes don't get a lot of time to think.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. You have speed hacks to help the Vale's going for the treasury, maybe hoping to find some armor to help him with the spike tile, I guess. He's out of MP.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. He's gonna pick up Erdrick's sword in here, but probably not enough to take down that armor knight on the spike tile. Will he try it, or is he going to run away?
Oh, swing all day and go for the crit if nothing else. Does he have herbs? I couldn't see, but if he has herbs and he can heal up to full. Oh, he has that full, never mind. Just swing away and go for the crit. And
I thought he was gonna have a bad day with the green dragon right before he got the sword. These dragons are definitely popping in at some scary times to put the little bit of arrhythmia in your heart.
And they're in the bottom zone too. At least when they're in the top zone, you say like, okay, I died. Let me go collect the princess and go back to Sharlock. It's not that far. Like we saw you, Toaster, you were on the spike tiles on, at the top with 14 HP because, if you die there, whatever, I'll go collect them up again. But man, you don't want to die on the bottom floor. Uh-oh.
Oh.
And as you speak it, it shall happen. Takes that hit, 30 hit point damage on 29 hit points available. Sends him back, but at least he knows he did get the Erdrick sword, so may go up only about 550 experience away from the next level. So may go down and grind on those red dragons real quick. That's an easy 510 if you take out 2 of them and another random monster on the way. So maybe possible. Look at level 14 and go down again. Meanwhile, Galf is still working on that armor.
To be fair to me, Vale was probably doomed to a crit. So, I mean, there was a 31 and 32 chance, times however many attacks, that he was going to get killed by that Armored Knight. So, in a weird way, that might have saved him a little bit of time. And like, you're right. He kills one red dragon. He's suddenly within one red dragon the next level. He picks up 14. And that's going to come with some extra little goodies that will help him out.
I'm definitely glad I ground to 14. I think there was some good stats there that just kind of made it safer to get down to the bottom.
I'm not actually sure about that. I think 14 had like a 9 stat and then a 3 and a 2. There was not a whole lot of great for it, but definitely the confidence to get there for sure.
Yeah, and also just a reminder, Vale's running a different build as well, so he'll get it was HPMP, right? So he'll get maybe a little more MP than you got, Toaster. Maybe an extra heal more to help.
Vale is actually on agility MP, so he may get that agility he needs to run away from things.
Oh, even better. See, if I had watched Three's Company, I would have known that's agility MP, but I've never seen Three's Company, so.
Absolutely. All the references that you didn't catch. You didn't do enough of your homework for sure.
I was trying to binge watch it before the race, but there's so much of it.
Yeah, you can't step in 10 minutes before the race and expect to watch a whole couple seasons. It's not going to happen.
Oh, you don't know the power of 3 times speed on YouTube, do you?
I saw images. They moved fast. I understand. And Vale UV is taking on the second dragon. Kind of risky, but or at least time consuming when you're only 26 experience away, but is going to be taking it on to gain that next level.
A little more than 26, but still, this one will do it. I think it's like 127, but either way, this is plenty for him. And yeah, he'll get a little more agility and MP, and I guess those other stats too, but he'll be thrilled with the agility now. Okay, the agility.
Yep, the agility brings him up to 70. That's a good number. Hit points 84, MP 88, attack power 117, and defense 71. So I mean, it's not good enough for the Dragon Lord, but it may be good enough for that trap.
And that 3 looked sad and piddly, but I gave him an 11th heal more, so good enough.
Galf has been sent back home, took a death, returned to the castle, and is heading towards, it looks like, the swamp again. And we've got Vale UV is, I don't know where he's going. Is he considering taking the princess on a tour before he delivers her to her fate?
Guess he must be refilling, but he refilled with the man at the MP guy in Tantagle earlier. I wonder why he's going out here. Maybe he has something he wants.
Buying herbs, maybe?
Oh, that's a very good point. Maybe buying the herbs. He's moving over into Breckenary, getting himself healed or stocked up on the herbs. That's not a bad. CD Improv saying fairy water may also be good. A torch, maybe, if you don't know your way around. 88 MP is exactly 11 heal mores. So if you do one little magic spell, you've cut yourself back down to 10. But 10 Healmores, you should be able to make it through fairly decently, as long as you don't run into a cosmic disaster on your way down, like Toaster had, where 6 steps found 5 enemies.
1 in 16, they say. 1 in 16. Meanwhile, Guelph picked up 15, and he's got a whole bunch of extra stats to go with 15. We'll see if 15 emboldens him to go armorless. He can still pull out second if he decides he doesn't really need the armor and makes his way back to Tantegel, because 15 did give him a lot of stuff to help him. And if Vale can't get down on 14, he goes back and rescues the princess and gets going. He could maybe pass Vale, even though Vale's in the castle with the princess again.
Not quite sure why Vale is attacking here on the way down, using that MP for some Hurtmores instead of just running away and trying to conserve it. Maybe figuring has a better chance of killing it and moving on than trying to fight his way down.
Yeah, he's just slightly more than a 1 in 3 favorite to run. Well, maybe he's about 40% to run or something like that. And he's just figuring that maybe he could swing through, maybe 3-shot it, maybe 4-shot it. But the problem is he doesn't have the armor, so he can't heal walk that back.
Nope. And every time that you take a hit from one of those dragons, they have some power. And these Axe Knights or Armor Knights as well, they're not hitting too hard, but if you're not killing them in 1 or 2 hits, they're knocking you down. 33 is a big number to take.
Yeah, we saw Toaster got a little fortunate not running into all these Armored Knights and Red Dragons the first time, at least. But man, this is a place where the armor would be nice. Even not forget about these barrier tiles, just to heal walk some of this stuff back might be kind of nice. But instead, we got to use heal mores.
Absolutely, that passive 1 HP every step is great. Or I think the armor, the Erdrick's armor is 2. Is it?
I did an entire round of grinding in tier 1, and I did not see it. I don't think I saw a single armor knight up there, so it was kind of a surprise when I saw him going on the real dive.
Yeah, we noticed that. It was kind of funny. Like all your grinding, but your first dive down just looked like, oh man, wizards and star weavers, all these good enemies, it's fine. And then you went for your second dive, and it's like Armored Knight, Red Dragon. Like, wait, is this the same Sharlock? What?
Yeah, it was a bit of a wake up.
All right, so we got Vale UV making his way down. He's got 44 MP left, and that's enough for 5 Healmores as long as he can run off. And it looks like as the screen was catching up there, went ahead with another Hurtmore, dropped himself down to 39. Expending all your MP to get through the top levels on the monsters is not the best strategy. You got to save that for the heals.
Well, I think he was right at the end of Zone 1. He's thinking, all right, let me spend 5 MP to get rid of this guy because it's better than spending 8 on a heal more. And then I'll get to the next zone, and maybe it'll be, and on the next zone, here to welcome him is an armor.
And we got Gelf is taking on the Red Dragon again. And oh no, gets hit for 41 and sent back home. Ouch. That's gotta hurt.
Yeah, but it looks like Vale down to 21 MP might be joining him soon. So we might be resetting this. And boy, Guelph, that level 15's got some. Oh no, but the Red Dragon might have just convinced Guelph to go back for the armor again. Or is he going for herbs? He might be going for herbs.
Yeah, I think that direction is just Brecconary, so I think that's just herbs. So don't need to get too scared yet. Oh, never mind. He turned south. Yep, it looks like that's where he's heading. And you can't blame him, but also you got to figure that you've already got one opponent that finished 20 minutes ago. Knowing that the count is so challenging, you got to figure that your opponent didn't go for it and make your move.
If you want to meta it, though, you could also say that because you're not like everyone else hasn't finished, that means that there's very likely the armor's on the search spot, right? If it was in the grave or if it was in Sharlock or something, everyone would have been done long ago, right? Because they got the armor. So he can probably be pretty convinced that the armor's on the search spot. And then because everyone's not done, he can also maybe think, hey, wait a minute, Sharlock is really mean and nasty, and I need this armor because if I didn't need this armor, everyone else would be done. So he might be metaing himself into thinking that he needs to do this count and needs to get this armor because no one else has it, right? Or at least Vale doesn't have it, and Vale's not finishing, so hey.
Meanwhile, Vale does take an Armored Knight, was one hit away from killing it, and unfortunately the Armored Knight dodged and sent him back. So once again, must go rescue the princess and make that dive again. Used up some herbs, so probably going to go over and pick up some herbs on the way back through. Interesting strategy to say the least. Just you gotta save that MP for your heals. Try to run from the Armored Knights. Yeah, it's 5 MP to kill it, but it's 8 MP to heal if you don't get away. But if they hit for 33, you're healing anyways. So now you're using 13.
Yeah, I think if it's further down in the Sharlock, I think I get it, right? But on that top floor, I think you got to be really aggressive trying to run. You've got about a 40% chance to run, maybe slightly under 40% chance to run with your 70 agility. And yeah, getting killed by them is not great, but you just go collect up the princess and you're back to floor 1 before you know it. Man, I think you got to push it in the top floors. At the same time, Vale found 342 armored knights, so that's pretty much going to end your dive regardless of what you do. He's not encounter them that much. Like, that's just rough.
Yeah, and Vale is at 7,100 experience, so not too far off now from level 15. If this dive doesn't go successful, or may even hit level 15 on the way through the dive if he keeps fighting everything. A little bit over 300 experience to go in order to make it there, so we may see that.
I mean, that is the good thing with his hurt more and attack the armored knights. So at least he's making progress towards the next level. So even if the dive failed, he's now set himself up here to get 15. As we saw on Guelph's side, 15 has lots of statistical goodies that will help him get to hopefully help him get into the bottom.
And as you see, he did not cast outside. He went back to that trap tile, taking on the red dragon. So maybe looking for a quick grind here to get the 400 or 300 experience he needs to get that level 15. Go up, take a rest, get your MP back, go stop over at Breckenary, get your herbs, and would be good to go for the dive. Could be something good to see here. We might finally get another successful, or you never know, could get the bad encounter rate again.
I wonder if, Vale looked like he didn't need a full red dragon. He only needed 52 experience. It looks like he wanted to find something other than the red dragon to go beat up. Don't want to get the level on the way there because you want to have as many heal mores as possible. So he'll pick up the level, grab his MP, refresh to full MP, and hopefully 15's enough. Well, he gets 8 more agility, which is going to help him a lot. Now I think he definitely has to run from those armored knights, and that's pushing him up to something around 45% to run. That's going to make a big...
And Vale UV's counting his herbs, only has 1. Stepping back into the castle, not sure what he's doing. Looks like he's going to refill his MP, so maybe not stepping over to Breckenary to refill. Probably going to take it from...
he got a few more HP, sitting at 90 HP is nice. That extra agility I mentioned will help him with his run chances, but also add some defense power as well. So even if he fails to run, he'll get hit for a little bit less than he was before. Feeling like he doesn't need full herbs, like he can just go right now. And yeah, he's got to be kind of worried too, as you see the clock keep going, like, my opponent's got to be right on my tails. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And he's not going to waste the time going to grab 5 herbs, it looks like. Guelph back on his Erdrick's armor hunt, and the thing is, if he finds the armor, I mean, if he gets the armor, he's going to go rescue the princess, he's going to fly through Sharlock, he's going to get the Dragon Lord before you can blink if he finds the armor. So if he gets the armor off this search bot, and even though it looks like Vale's in the lead and already in the castle and such, if Guelph finds the armor, he's going to be just jetting right on through.
He's got it. He found the armor. All of that looking, all of that searching. There it was. Finally. You know he's got to have that great release.
Man, I mean, like I was saying, now he can just jet right to the Dragon Lord. So Vale, boy, he better get going while the going's good. But man, wow, that's impressive that he pulled that count off. Even though it took him a while, I don't know, there's not many of us that would even try that. I know I wouldn't try that, and yet here he is. Got it. So, dang, well done.
Yeah, like I said, it was not impossible, and Guelph has proved me right. It's hard, but can be done. Took several attempts, probably a combination of at least 30 minutes worth of searching, but did find it. Will it pay off, or will Vale UV make this final run successful? If not, I'm sorry, your efforts were in vain.
Oof, Vale, the encounter rate not being nice. We're still seeing lots of armored knights pop up, but that extra agility helped him to first try run from that one. And he looks like he's going to swap this wizard out of the way. He's not quite defense breaking it yet, but it doesn't take too much damage.
All right, Guelph once again going up against the Red Dragon, having that armor now and having the wherewithal to take him down. Will be successful, I'm sure, with this, and then be making that dive. It's closer than you think. It really is.
So Red Jack, he wasn't. I don't think he was digging blind. I think he had one of them. I think he was able to reverse count one of them, I believe, from the way he was going way back at the start of that. But I think the north-south, he was pretty blind. I think he had an indicator about the east-west, but had no indicators for the northwest, north-south.
All right, Guelph has picked up his princess and will be making his way outside and going to refill to go for this again.
Yeah, we're going to see Guelph just with the armor. He's not going to have to burn the 2 heal mores on the barrier tiles. He's going to get that free heal walking. That's going to be huge. He's got 73 agility, so, decentish chance to run from armored knights and any red dragons that he may encounter. He's going to be in good shape.
Absolutely. And whilst I was looking away, it looks like Amazing Toaster has left the comms booth. Thank you for joining us, Toaster. And we appreciate you being in here. And yeah, good.
Vale's made it to the bottom, but we know the bottom can still be scary. Meanwhile, Guelph at the top, so he's racing to try to catch up.
Yeah, and Vale is in a lot better position now with those heal mores. Definitely still not free. Can have a lot of things that he can run into on the way down there, but at least not running with only 16 2 heal mores.
Oh, there's that agility paying off as he first tries runs from a red dragon. He still has, what was that, 6, I think I saw, heal mores. So, pretty good. Yep, 6, pretty good shape, pretty good shape.
All right, gonna discover that the trap tile is nothing to really worry about. Getting all healed up and ready to go. Let's see what we got with this armored.
Yeah, this should just be a quick 10 MP and see you later. I guess he could hurt more and swing, but eh.
And this is the comeback that we were talking about with this. Value V was quite some ways behind until he hit level 9. And then as soon as he hit level 9, just made that comeback, made the moves that needed to be done. Everyone get your GGs and your hypes out in chat as he delivers the princess to the Dragon Lord. Good job. Nice comeback. Very well done.
Yeah, Vale finishing just under 2 hours, 1:55:37. It was a rough seed for sure. Tough start, definitely. He had that really unlucky. He was doing a lot of stuff on level 8, not knowing that Healmore and Hurtmore were just around the corner, doing grinds and all that, but made it all pay off once he got to level 9 and got...
All right, let's see if we can get him in here for an interview as well. GG. Congratulations, as Golf is making his way down. Only a few more floors to go. I think we only have about 3 left and then the basement. So he is close to the end as well.
Yeah, you saw Guelph is jetting through. He's almost to the bottom zone already, so he was not very far behind Vale at all. That armor, once he found it, man, just letting him walk right on through Charlotte.
This was definitely an entertaining race to watch all the way through. None of the runners given up, pushing hard. And even though we saw the early finish of Toaster at an hour 20, there are other 2 runners still with their different strategies, their different tactics, still coming in very close with their time.
Yeah, that's one of the neat things about these flags and the league in general is it gives you all kinds of different ways to win, all kinds of different strategies. You don't just see the same exact grind everywhere. You don't see exactly the same things on each screen. We saw a whole variety of different strategies that eventually led everyone to the Dragon Lord. So.
Yeah, and each one has doomed the princess to her fate. I don't know what the Dragon Lord intends to do with her when you drop her off, but I can assure you it's probably not very nice. He's not gonna just send her back home and let her have her castle.
Wait, this is Three's Company. We're chilling out, we're hanging, we're buying new drapes, we're gonna have a hot tub and a disco ball. I don't know, this sounds pretty good.
I mean, maybe she wants to stay with you. You do own half of the world, so maybe she asks if she can just hang out with you. And, the Dragon Lord gives you the option. Sure, why not? Then yeah, it's just a party. Life is a party. And CD mentioning he is going for the sword. Yes, indeed. He's going to have the full gauntlet of armor and accessories to go onto this. If you're going to go, you might as well go big.
Yeah, sort of makes sense. He doesn't know the spike tile, of course. For all he knows, the spike tile could have a golem or something you'd want to destroy really quickly. So that extra 20 attack power going from the broadsword up to the Edric sword. Yeah, why not get it, right? It's just a few seconds, and he's going to find out he didn't need it. He's going to find out he just needs 10 MP. Oh, we're joined by Vale in the chat. Vale UV. Hey, Vale, very important question for you. Ragnar or Bray? Because I kind of like Bray. Bray seems like he's really awesome. I think Ragnar's not always cracked up to be, is he?
I'm just saying, if you do a simple recolor of Ragnar and turned all the pink stuff black and gray and turned the sword red, he is Darth Vader. And I think that that pretty much whatever Bray can throw at him, Vader's just gonna bounce that right back.
All right, I never saw that. I'll have to go look at that. All right, serious questions though. How did you feel like that start was a little rough, huh? Especially you tried a lot of things on level 8 and then level 9 gave everything. How'd you deal with that afterwards? What do you think?
Well, like the first thing that I was thinking was, I don't know if anybody else, saved to check what was in the treasury or the basement, but I got in there. And I was like, okay, so Sharlock's right here and the swamp cave's right here. So I went out and I tried to grind a little bit of gold, and I realized that the monsters just weren't doing anything. So I decided to try to use that fairy water and torch to start getting levels. And I think that turned out to work out well because there was a magic key nearby. And then, yeah, I just kind of felt like everything was, no matter what, just kept knocking me back. So I definitely, I don't know, I didn't feel strong about the finish, but it was what it was.
Well, I definitely want to say out of the three runners that did finish tonight, you definitely had the hardest start out of all of them. The last one to get to level 9. In fact, I think when you were at level 9, Toaster and Golf were already at level 12. Uh, Definitely a rough start and a go for you, but not down and out. We were mentioning at that time that once you get hurt more and heal more, you find a good grind spot, you will be able to make your comeback, and you did. That was quite a comeback for you.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as I saw hurt more and heal more, I was like, okay, let's go into Sharlock and kill a couple Sharlock enemies. And then I remembered that there were the armor knights right in that desert there, which they were faster to kill than the golems. And I kind of wish I had just stuck there and grinded a little bit more, but at that point I was kind of feeling behind. I was like, oh, I'm close enough. Let's give it a try. My first dive into Sharlock, I really didn't expect to make it, but I took the princess just in case. I was really just after seeing what was in that treasury, or the Dragon Lord's treasury, and the sword. I was hoping for armor, but the sword, I feel helped a little bit.
Just to jump in real quick, we saw Guelph on the final floor with the sword, kind of assuming he was going to finish up. He did. He blasted right through that armored knight, finished sub 2, just a couple minutes behind you, Vale. So GG's to Guelph for that one, for finishing.
Absolutely. Good game, Guelph. And of course, good game to Amazing Toaster, taking that in like an hour 20. I'm guessing Toaster just got that grind up quickly. Looks like he beat it at 14, is it?
Yeah, he took it down to level 14. He had a rather scary dive, to say the least. He caught 5 encounters on his first 6 steps in Sharlock, and then had, goodness, not a whole lot of HP left after the trap tile, and met a red dragon immediately afterwards. So it was definitely scary to watch.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun at all.
So definitely a question for both Guelph in chat, joining us in chat, and Vale here. About that armor, you both had very, very different opinions on that armor, very different strategies on that armor, and I mean, they converged just minutes apart. So, Vale, you want to tell us your thoughts on the armor, and Guelph, yours as well? Like, that was pretty interesting.
Well, I was really hoping to get the armor somewhere, and I don't know, like if it was at the bottom of the grave, I died steps away from that last chest there, so I'm not sure where the armor was. But I did a gold grind up to get a flame sword, and I couldn't make it. I did a ghetto grind for that, and I just kept getting killed right before that. And then I tried to get full plate, and the same thing happened there. Those Wraith Knights were just not cool at all. So I figured, all right, full plate and a large shield. We're gonna go with that.
Yeah, it was very interesting because the armor ended up being on coordinates, though on the overworld. And Guelph, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you used a reverse count to get them, and it took some trying, it took some effort. Guelph went through a lot of effort to get that armor, whereas it looked like you were more content to just be like, "Forget you, armor, I'm gonna grind." And like I said, they both kind of ended up in the same place almost at the same time.
Yeah, it was definitely impressive to see the two routes converging so close together, um, with um, with the different routes. And Guelph is confirming in chat that yes, he was doing it backwards. Felt that he may have messed it up at some point, but that is how he was working.
Yeah, I never even found Cantlin. Honestly, my knowing that the swamp cave and and Sharlock were right there, I kind of was like, I'm only going to explore enough to, kind of get a grind started. I wasn't really going to go out of my way looking for coordinates or anything.
Definitely GG and amazing run from all of our runners. This has been a great race to see today for sure. Nice long one. If you guys enjoyed this, go ahead, and we got CD Improv throwing some links up there. Give these runners a follow for sure if you enjoyed this content, as well as give our restreamer CD Improv a follow. And if you choose to, your commentators, Rye Guy and myself, we enjoy it, and our trackers, our behind the scenes crew, we've got Cameron and Centroid. Definitely, give these guys a follow. There's a lot of work that goes in behind the scenes here to make this happen for you guys, and we appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody. Trackers, streamers, re-streamers, commentators, everybody, tourney admins. This has been a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it every week. I didn't get as much practice in this one this time, but I do look forward to being able to go in and try a different flag set every week for this league. So I really like that, the way this is going. I'm having a lot of fun with this. So yeah, thanks everybody for coming together to do this.
Yeah, thank you, Vale. Thank you, Guelph, for a great race. Toaster, of course, as well, and also to Hangry. He had to leave. He had to leave about halfway through, but he also gave us a good race the first half that he was able to stay with us too. So thank you guys for the race, and again, yeah, thank you to our restreamers and to our trackers, Centroid, Camion, CD, and my partner, Wicked Viking, of course, too. Real quick question: is it Viking or are you just the sixth king?
I have been asked that. No, it is Viking. That's very appropriate. If you ever come over and check me out and hang out with me, I definitely have the Viking look, and that stemmed from a TwitchCon that everyone kept calling me the Techno Viking because I had some sort of resemblance to that as well. So, yeah, that's where that.
All right, perfect. Well, we're gonna take off here. We're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you again, everyone. We're gonna go see F. Coughlin playing some Final Fantasy, I believe.
Absolutely. Give the love, give the raid. Thank you all for being here, and have a wonderful night. We'll see you next time.